Hello and welcome. My name's Leanne. I live in Australia and this is my crafty cupboard. Okay, so they're all stitched down. Now I'm going to try putting in just some random lazy daisy stitches here and there with the hope that they might look like, what am I trying to say? Rosebuds. Might have been easier to have stitched these first and then put down the very 3D buttons. Maybe that's just detracting from the whole thing. Do a couple more and see how I feel. Maybe once they've got their sparkle leaf around them all, like them all. I was watching Christine's work, an older video that she made. She was using metallic threads and I loved the little glint of sparkle that it put through the work, so she inspired me. So I pulled out this and I'm gonna go for it. Use some of this as the leaves. Thank you, Christine, for your advice as well. She told me to work with shorter lengths of thread when working with the metallics because they're a little bit more temperamental. Now at this point I'm thinking I've come this far, it's a lot to unpick, might as well just keep going. It is challenging working with a long length of fabric that sort of gets in your way. I am glad it's flimsy for that reason. As everyone else managed it. Sometimes I've been folding it up. At one point I decided to keep it all on the reel, so I had it all on the spool, and that was doing a good job of keeping it out of the way, but then it all rolled off the table and all the pieces that I'd carefully sat there to stitch down went flying around the room, so I had to build the jigsaw again. One thing I've noticed when I'm watching other people stitching is how still they can keep their work. I can't. I have to keep turning it. I'm very impressed when people manage to keep their work still. I come unthreaded so many times in a project. I have a theory that it's just because I want to get really good at threading needles. I actually bought a needle threader. Do I have it here somewhere? It is the cutest thing. Oh, here it is. Isn't this sweet? But the thing is, it only just fits in this needle. And the only needles I have difficulty threading, ouch, are smaller than this needle. So, and you know, I don't know if it's actually saving me anything here. I feel like I'm so awkward with it, it's easier just to thread the needle. But it is pretty. And it's a magnet, so that's really handy. I like when I'm traveling with my sewing to have magnets to sandwich the points of my needles so they don't go anywhere. And accidentally stab me in my back. Also, if I'm not sitting at a table, if I'm sitting in a chair, I can have a very bad habit of putting my needle in the arm of the chair. That's not very good. So I like to wear magnets and then just click it to the magnet. And then I always know where the needle is. All right, let's get into this. Use it. Yes, it's very frayy. I've worked with like the gold stranded embroidery thread before. Very zoomed in, aren't I? Sorry, let me zoom out a bit. Might need a bigger eye. If I try and flatten the threads. Let's give the handy dandy needle threader a go. I'm so clumsy with it. All right, is that it? Yeah, I don't think, oh, it can. I thought it was not going to fit back through. There you go. How exciting. Okay. So, just going to do a straight stitch either side of the rosebud. Well, just do another lazy daisy, an open lazy daisy. I've got no idea if that's what it's called. That's what I'm calling it. I guess it's sort of like a one fly stitch, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, it doesn't, it sort of grabs, doesn't it? The metallic. Now, where would I like you to, I think I'd like you to anchor into behind the flower. Oops. Concentrating. Can't talk and concentrate at the same time. It's interesting. I don't know if you can really notice it. I shall carry on. Well, I'll carry on and come back when I've done all of them. Okay, back. So that's done. I'm on the fence about that. I think I liked it when it was very plain. But anyway, again, it's that wall between abundance and minimalism. Let's do some lavender. So just starting with a stem on which the flower spray will be. And then fly stitch all the way down. I want it to come out over here as well. Just trying to get the layout of the bush first, and then I'll come back and put more foliage in where it's needed. Looks more like coral or something at the moment. It's hard to see on the screen, isn't it? Yeah. I've picked a colour that's very much like the background. And not a very accurate colour either, I would say. Certainly the foliage is a lot softer green. Or a green-grey, isn't it, in real life? Well, I could add in extra foliage that looks like that. Maybe. Okay, and then for the flower heads, going to just use that purple I have in my scrap. So I keep any cuts of embroidery thread in this little tray. Just the colours, and use those first if they'll do the job. Can I remember how to do bullions? Haven't done them for ages, I think. Do I take a stitch here? Do I go in here? Of course, I have books right beside me on the shelf in the crafty cupboard that will tell me. But sometimes it's more fun just working it out for yourself. Is it like that? Oh dear, it doesn't feel very secure. Well, it's sort of right, except I've got a loop of thread here, which is not right. What to do, what to do? Consult an expert. Look in a book. Does it tell me? I think what I was doing was right. I'm going to carry on. It's giving me the sort of effect I was after. If you can see me doing it wrong, by all means, shout at the screen. Oops. Surely it's not right. How else would you do it if that's not right? Do I come here, take a stitch? No, you don't do that. I think you do what I was doing. 6. So now I haven't taken a stitch at all. That's weird. Now I'm confused. What have I done? Just go in there. That's weird, but also strangely cute and works. Now I've done it wrong. I don't know how to do it right. What was I doing? Didn't know. Another thing I found at the op shop was just a little mini kit on bullion roses, because I have to admit that bullions have never been my favourite thing to do, and so I avoid them. I think I'm doing it different again, aren't I? Well, this feels a bit easier. That feels more correct, but I don't know if I remembered what I did. Take a stitch here, stitch to here, keep the needle in, wrap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's interesting, I find, how your muscle memory can take over. That felt more natural and correct. Yeah, that feels correct. Now, I'm going to carry on making these and I'll be back. I'm back, and you can see I've stitched down all the lavender now, and I just added a straight stitch on the end in a paler thread to make the flags, and I'm stitching down the broken beaded piece that I found at an op shop as the garden path edging. Just being careful to stitch through all the beads because it's old and the thread inside might be frail. I don't want it to fall apart at any stage, so I'm actually stitching through all the beads on the piece to secure it to the fabric. Okay, so I'm going to keep stitching this down and I'll come back when I've got through more of it to show you. Okay, so this is my progress so far. I've got my standard rows. I've put down that beaded necklace as the edging of my path. Oops. Got some lavender. I might just put a straight stitch in a lighter shade on the end for the flags of the lavender, and did go in with a lighter grey green as well. Added a little more foliage, didn't overdo it. And we've got the door, or the gate. I'm feeling like for balance, we've got the white, and of course the mauve, and the yellow of these is sort of in that path, definitely needing some red pink elements. My standard roses out the front have got all different little flowers underneath, but I have got lots of pinks amongst other things there, so I might add that. So reaching into my stash, I've got this quite bright pink. I'm just looking at the balance. I think that'll be okay. And this metallic. So I might put little stitches of that in the centre, radiating out. So I think I'm just going to do little straight stitches. You know, the edge of a pink is quite raggedy, so a couple of straight stitches coming out from the centre, and a few lines of the metallic in the centre. Let's see how we go. Turns out this is actually very thick, and I think for the scale of things it's not going to achieve what I want. It's can't be separated down either. So I'm going to put that aside and look to these off the shelf. These are thin sewing machine embroidery threads. Where's my pink again? I don't know whether to go like pink with pink glitter in the centre or with the red. I feel like the red's going to bring this in more, and of course the centre of pinks is quite deep, so I might go with the red. Okay, so I've just done messy straight stitches in 2 strands of pink, and now I'm going in with the metallic thread. This needle doesn't like coming through at all. Okay, so that's interesting. That just disappeared straight away. Couldn't see a thing of it. Let's try again. Bit overcast today, so it's hard to see. So with these I'm just aiming for them to be not come out as far, just be shorter. Oh yeah, it's getting there. I'm just coming up at the centre and taking a straight stitch radiating out. I just might need to do a few more stitches than I was planning on to get the effect. So I'm going to turn off and keep doing that, and I'll be back. Okay, up to the last one. Then after this I'm just going to put in some straight stitches for leaves. They sort of have quite long, slender, pointy leaves, but this is so tiny. I'm not going to worry about that sort of detail. I think just doing some straight stitches with 2 threads will give me that effect. So overcast today, it's really hard to see. Need to get one of those daylight lamps. Maybe just one more here. Okay, I'll leave it at that. I ended up using this thread double, which as you can see is a little challenging. I've ended up with a loop there, that's alright. It'll all get sewn down and add to the fabric of the piece. And another loop. Now it's like a little skinny butterfly. Okay, so some green for some leaves. I'm really enjoying this little section of the garden. I'd love to see like a climbing rose up here. Maybe wisteria hanging down from the top. That would be beautiful. I don't have wisteria at this house. I had it at my old home. It took years and years to grow it all along the whole side fence. It was incredible. Did take a lot of maintenance, granted, to keep it under control. But gee, I was in love with that. It was just stunning. I had arum lilies all growing underneath it, so the arum lilies would grow up and the wisteria was hang down. Just beautiful. Okay, so I'm just sort of essentially going to do like straight stitches everywhere, a bit like seed stitching, to add the effect of some leaves that these little flowers are growing out of. So I might actually stop here, move over to a window where I can see and keep stitching. I'll come and show you when I'm done. Okay, so they're all done now. So I'm thinking in this space some daffodils would look lovely. And as I mentioned, I'm thinking about maybe a wisteria vine across the top here. But for now, I'm going to leave it at that and end the video here. So this is what I have so far. So I thank you for watching along with me, and I'll see you next time.